Greetings! My name is Sierra Ash, and welcome to the Ashevaili art channel. Today, I'm going to be continuing on from my hair tutorial video. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll leave a link in the iCard above and in the description down below. Go ahead and watch that one first if you haven't already. If you're still here, this is my speed paint of Haku from Spirited Away. He has a lot of hair, so that's why I chose him to be the subject of this video. Now, this piece took a total of 8 hours, and it took a lot of doing fur and hair. I'm also going to be doing a tutorial video on fur. That's going to be my next tutorial, because it's very similar to hair, but there are different techniques that you should use. So when I was painting this piece, it was intended to be used in the Otherworld's Ink upcoming shop. Gonna be soon. It's gonna be full of fan art, nerdism, everything that's awesome. I'm doing art pieces for the shop, right? Now, of course, in order to have something printed on merchandise, you need to have your resolution be very high. I keep it at 300 resolution for printing, 300 ppi, and also a large size, right? So this image originally started at 11 by 17 at 300 resolution. Okay? There's a sad story that goes with this, guys. When I was just about to finish, like at the very end, all I had left to do was add shading and highlights, my favorite part of any art process. If you've seen my other videos, you already know. When I was just about to start doing this, my tablet started acting funny. I use a Cintiq 13 HD, and it's sometimes it acts funny. Like, what'll happen is I'll be drawing on it, and then if I take a break, walk away from it for a while, suddenly my pen won't be calibrated correctly to the tablet, so I have to turn it off, unplug it, plug it back in, and try it again. Now, this time that didn't work, the unplugging and plugging it back in, it didn't work, so I was like, okay, what fixed this last time is restarting the computer, right? So I was like, okay, let me just restart the computer really quick. Everything will be fine, right? So I go through, I start closing my programs slowly, you know, because I keep a billion programs open. I got Photoshop open, Premiere's usually open for editing videos. I've got my recording software open for recording the video, OBS. I've got Google Chrome open for playing music or YouTube videos while I draw. Things like that. Right? So I'm starting to close everything, and suddenly my computer freezes. And I'm just here freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Now, at this point, when the computer froze, I had already pressed save. I already clicked, you know, save on all my files. Everything was saving. Or had already saved, from what I thought. Right? So I'm like, dang it, the computer's frozen. Okay, let me just do a hard reset. I already saved my work, right? I was wrong. So I do a hard reset on the computer. I go ahead, open it back up, pull up my program, get everything started, and I open my file. My Spirited Away file. All I saw was a red line on a black background. No. All I did was stare at the screen for a good minute. I was so confused. I was like, what's going on? Because not only did the file look weird, but my workspace, like my Photoshop workspace, where I have like the panels on one side and all my brushes, like I have it aligned in a certain way where I like to work with it. Everything was messed up. Like, my panels weren't open the same way they used to be. Everything just looked funny. I was very confused and having a panic attack because I don't know where my file is. This file that I've put like 7, almost 8 hours into, right? It was gone. It was just a black screen with a red line. So I go straight to Google immediately. Start looking up everything I can. What could be the problem here? And all I'm seeing is file corruption, you'll never be able to get it back, You should always save, you know, backup files, all of this. It was just traumatic. I start sobbing instantly because, you know, losing that much work is painful, and I actually really fell in love with this piece. Like, I was very proud of it, especially with the water in the background. I've never drawn water like this before, and I feel like it went really well. You'll see that in a little bit. We're not there in the video yet. But yeah, so I looked it up, everything that I can, any possible way to recover it, but apparently what had happened was, when I did a hard reset on the computer, the file was in the process of saving, and because it was in the process of saving, everything was just ruined. It didn't save to the hard drive, it destroyed my file, my PSD file. So what I had to do in order to salvage my piece after losing the entire PSD file, it took a lot of stitching. Let me explain, okay? So this right here is the point where disaster struck. You can see in the video right here, this is the screen cap of my recording, the recording that I was doing for my YouTube channel. I had to go to the video and take a screenshot of this point, because this is as far as I got before losing the file, right? Now, this wouldn't be a problem, right? If it was just, you know, to post on the web or share on YouTube, any of that, right? But let me refer to you back to, this was going to be for merchandise, right? So if we zoom in, you can see just how pixelated and not good at all the quality is on this. It's awful. So what I had to do is go through the recording and find spots where I, you know, zoomed in. Because whenever I zoomed in the recording, it made the file bigger, and I could take a screenshot of that and it wouldn't be so pixelated, and then I had to paste it on. You can tell this is a backwards process, right? I had to paste that little screenshot onto the actual thing, and then I had to mask out the background again because, you know, every screenshot looked different, and I had to piece them together, stitching it all up. I couldn't get a good spot for the butt or for like the top of the hair or none of that. I couldn't find a good close-up for it. So those parts are still pixelated, but I'm able to hide them with my filters that I add on top, just to hide how bad it looks. But you can see me adding on the little stitches. This is just me going over the process, by the way. I didn't record after I lost it because I was just so distraught. So yeah, I'm stitching it together, right? Adding all of the different pieces. And then I go through, I add the sharpening filter, add on some levels and curves, get a lot of contrast as much as I can. And I also go ahead and I take a textured filter. I put a texture on top of everything, mostly to hide the pixelation. I also do shading and highlights on top of it, also to hide how janky it looks. And yeah, pretty much that's all I was able to do to salvage it. Now, of course, I lost all of my resolution. I had to drop this back down to 72 resolution and lose all of my size, so I cannot use this for merchandise anymore unless I wanted to redraw the whole entire piece, which I might do it someday, but honestly, I think this is gonna have to be a nice little rest in peace video to this beautiful piece. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave me a like. If you want to see more of my upcoming content, be sure to subscribe. And finally, drop a comment down below letting me know what you thought of this story video. It's more of a drama-ish telling. I'm trying out a lot of different things on my channel so I can see what people like and what people don't like. I'm brand new, so yeah, I want to know what you think. Please let me know. I hope you stay tuned for next week's video, the fur tutorial. Good wishes, Tao Amato.